All right, in this video, we're going to talk about something called team culture and why it is so important. Now, if you want to have a great and healthy organization, everyone needs to begin to get clarity on these four things: mission, vision, values, and strategy. And it'll take some time, but as you work through that and begin to understand that and articulate it and define it well for everybody, you can begin to move forward and be a great organization. But now it's time to talk about this thing called culture. And team culture is at the heart of your organization, and it answers the question, how do we actually do things? So good organizations understand their mission and their vision and their values and their strategic objectives, and you might have all of that clearly mapped out for everybody. But a great team, a great organization is one where the culture matches up with all of those four things. In other words, what people are actually doing on a habitual, regular basis matches up with your mission, your vision, your values, and your strategic objectives. Now, the word for that is integrity. Integrity comes from the word for integer. Okay, it's integral. Integer is a number like 1 or 2 or 3. So if your organization or if your team has great integrity, it just means that everything is well nested, everything fits in. It looks like this picture here, where your mission and your values and your vision and your strategy and your culture, everything is neatly put together and it all lines up. You're doing what you're saying and you're saying what you're doing. You're practicing what you're preaching. But a team with poor integrity or a disintegrated team is a team where their culture begins moving outside of their mission, vision, values, and strategy. You get what's called mission drift or vision drift, where you're drifting away practically on an everyday basis. You're drifting away from what you say you're about. You're drifting away from what you have envisioned. You're drifting away from your strategic objectives. You're even drifting away from your values. And so what used to be an integrated team becomes this, a team with great disintegration. And so nobody knows the mission, vision, values. None of this is matching up anymore, and your team now is failing. And this is why it's critical for great teams to stop and evaluate. Not just what is our mission, vision, values, and what are our strategic objectives, but what is our culture? What are we actually doing on a daily basis, on a weekly basis? What are our habits individually and as an organization? Because that is what your culture is. What are we actually doing? And does it line up with what we say we want to be doing? Great teams aren't afraid to ask this question. Now go ahead and use the resources below. We've got some tools down there for you and your team to start processing this and beginning to understand how to truly become an integrated team where your culture matches up with your mission, vision, values, and strategy.